David Hookes has been a mainstay on the Australian cricketing discourse board, known for his aggressive batting style as well as contributions to domestic cricket. His career has been by highs achieved in the world of the sport, as well as a number of controversies that had made him the talk of the town in sporting circles. Hookes would make his name as a star batsman whose aggressive style would be able to match any bowler.
So I felt comfortable with my own batting, and of course as a batsman, as you would well know, that's half the battle.
Yep.
I mean, you've got to feel comfortable with your feet and the bat swing and all those things.
Born on May 3rd, 1955, UB Saint, Kilda, Victoria. While growing up, David Hookes was introduced into the sporting culture of this family, which developed into love for the sport. This passion would sustain him throughout the school years, as by the time he reached his teenage years, Hookes would be making a name for himself on the Victoria's Junior Cricket Cricket. As we dive deeper into the career of David Hookes, be sure to like and subscribe for more content covering other cricket greats, while we go deep into their history. Making his domestic debut for South Australia in the 1974-75 season, the aggressive batting style of Hookes would make him shine in the eyes of selectors. In quick succession, in his second season, he was able to achieve a massive feat by scoring 5 centuries in 6 innings. This included centuries in both innings of consecutive matches of his, something that was more and more rare in Australian cricket history. This performance of his would solidify this reputation as a star that was rising on the domestic cricket scene in Australia. His next season would continue this run of his, where he would continue to impress with his explosive batting. The ability of Hookes to completely dominate the bowlers he faced made him a key instrument for the South Australian team, one they used to devastating effect, and made sure that he would be selected for the national team. Hookes' international career began with a bang during the centenary test against England in March 1977 at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. He made an immediate impact by hitting England's captain Tony Greig for 5 consecutive boundaries, a moment that remains one of the highlights of his career. Despite this promising start, Hookes struggled to secure a consistent place in the Australian team. As is usual with international cricket, churn is often a constant within international teams, and this would result in Hookes struggling with a constant environment around him. His participation in World Series Cricket, WSC, initiated by media mogul Kerry Packer, was pivotal. Hookes became one of the key figures marketed by WSC due to his talent and appeal. He played 12 Super Tests from 1977 to 1979, scoring 7 to 70 runs at an average of 38.5. However, a severe injury sustained from a bouncer delivered by Andy Roberts left him with a broken jaw, impacting his confidence and performance. This wouldn't be the impact the WSC would have on Hookes, as the league would prove to be massively controversial and consistently land him in hot water with the regulators of the sport. Despite these setbacks, Hookes returned to the Australian side for the 1982-83 Ashes series against England. He scored consistently well during this period, including a notable performance where he accumulated 344 runs at an average of 49. His only Test century came during Australia's inaugural Test against Sri Lanka in Kandy, where he scored an impressive 143 runs. After his international career began to wane, Hookes continued to excel in domestic cricket. He captained South Australia and led them to victory in the Sheffield Shield during the early 1980s. One of his most memorable achievements came in October 1982 when he scored a record-breaking century off just 34 balls against Victoria, an achievement that stood as one of the fastest centuries in first-class cricket history. Hookes' aggressive batting style and ability to score quickly made him a fan favourite. He formed formidable partnerships with fellow cricketers like Darren Lehmann and Wayne Phillips, often entertaining crowds with their attacking play at Adelaide Oval. Despite his success on the field, Hookes faced challenges off it. He had a tumultuous relationship with cricket administrators and was controversially sacked as captain of South Australia in 1990 after leading the team for nearly a decade. Following this dismissal, he played for 3 more seasons before retiring from professional cricket. After retiring as a player, Hookes transitioned into coaching and took on the role of head coach for Victoria. His experience and knowledge of the game helped nurture young talent within the state team. However, his coaching career was cut short when he tragically passed away on January 19, 2004, after an altercation outside a bar in St Kilda. David Hookes is remembered as one of Australia's most talented cricketers who never fully realised his potential at the international level. Despite playing only 23 tests and scoring 306 runs at an average of 30, his aggressive style and record-breaking performances in domestic cricket left an indelible mark on Australian cricket history. His autobiography reflects on his career with humility. He acknowledged that history might judge him harshly due to his modest international record, but emphasised his love for the game and its impact on his life. For players like David Hookes, cricket was not just a sport, but a way of life. And we aim to honour that here. For more such content covering the history of cricket legends like David Hookes, follow our likes and subscribe. Hookes' involvement in World Series cricket, WSC, further complicated his career. Initially, he was enthusiastic about joining Kerry Packer's breakaway league, which promised higher pay and greater visibility for players. However, as the series progressed, Hookes began to have reservations about his decision. He attempted to back out of his contract with WSC, but was met with threats from Packer, who insisted that Hookes would face severe financial repercussions if he tried to leave. This situation left Hookes in a precarious position, torn between loyalty to traditional cricket and the allure of financial security offered by WSC. His choice to participate in WSC meant that he missed out on several crucial test matches during a period when Australia faced teams like India and West Indies. This decision is often cited as a turning point that affected the trajectory of his international career. A significant event that marred Hookes' career was the injury he sustained during a super test against the West Indies in 1977-78. A bouncer from fast bowler Andy Roberts broke his jaw, which not only sidelined him for an extended period, but also had lasting psychological effects on his batting style. Many believe that this injury contributed to a decline in his confidence and performance at the international level. Despite returning to play after recovery, critics noted that Hookes never fully regained his aggressive approach at the crease. His footwork suffered and he became more hesitant against fast bowling, a stark contrast to his earlier performances where he dominated bowlers with ease. This injury is often viewed as a pivotal moment in Hookes' career, marking the beginning of a struggle to maintain form and consistency at the highest level. Off the field, Hookes faced personal challenges that added complexity to his public persona. His marriage to Robin ended in separation during the late 1990s, which took an emotional toll on him. Despite this setback, he found solace in his work as a media personality after retiring from professional cricket. He co-hosted Sports Today on Radio 3AW, where he became known for his frank commentary on cricket and sports in general 3. However, even this role was not without controversy. In August 2003, Hookes faced backlash for making derogatory comments about Helen Cohen-Aylon, a woman who accused Shane Warne of sexual harassment. His remarks were widely criticised as insensitive and misogynistic, leading Cricket Victoria to issue a statement condemning his comment. This incident highlighted how Hookes' unfiltered opinion could sometimes cross lines that alienated fans and colleagues alike. The most tragic chapter of David Hookes' life unfolded on January 19, 2004. After celebrating a victory with members of the Victorian cricket team at the Beaconsfield Hotel in St Kilda, an altercation broke out between Hookes' group and hotel staff. During this confrontation, bouncer Zdravko Micevic punched Hookes, causing him to fall and hit his head on the pavement. Despite being revived by paramedics, Hookes never regained consciousness and died shortly thereafter. Hookes' last day would also be recorded on camera as he coached the Victorian Bushrangers.
Having lost coach David Hookes a decade ago and believe the national team will recover in time.
The circumstances surrounding Hookes' death led to widespread public outrage and scrutiny of Micevic's action. He was charged with manslaughter. However, during the trial, conflicting testimonies emerged regarding what transpired that night. Ultimately, Micevic was acquitted of all charges, leaving many in the cricket community feeling frustrated and disillusioned with the legal proceedings surrounding Hookes' death. The aftermath of this incident saw an outpouring of grief from fans and fellow cricketers alike. A memorial service held at Adelaide Oval drew thousands who came to pay their respects. However, it also sparked discussions about violence in nightlife settings and the responsibilities of venues regarding patron safety.